Welcome back to Booktuber Advent Day 3. This is a series where a different booktuber every single day is picking me a book to read leading up to Christmas, and I have gotten two very good picks so far, and I can't wait to see what the third one is going to be. For Day 3, Claire from Claire's Neverland of Books is going to be choosing a book for me, and Claire is someone that I know and love. She's been around for a really long time and just recently started a channel of her own. You guys should definitely check her out. She reads a little bit of everything, but I know that she gets me. She gets my taste. So I cannot wait to see what she picked. I know she said that she's nervous / excited for me to see. So I'm just gonna jump in. I cannot wait to find out.
Hey Mel, thank you so much for having me pick one of your books for Booktuber Advent. I'm so thrilled, and I think I have the perfect book for you. You told me under 400 pages, which is totally respectable. So I'm gonna pick a book that we were just talking about. You might have just bought it on the Audible sale, and that's going to be Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. I think you're going to have a fun time with this. Think Butcher and Blackbird for content. There's good banter. It's fun. There's stalking. It's dark. I had a really fun time with this, so I hope you do too. Happy reading!
I'm so excited. I'm so glad she picked this one because I've been wanting to read it, but I just hadn't had a reason, and now I have a reason. This is going to be, I think, such a fun time. Claire, thank you so much for choosing this. I don't own Lights Out, but like she said, we did just recently get it on the Audible sale. I did request under 400 pages, so thank you for being nice to me and sticking with that so that I can read it in a day. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to pick this up. Okay, I'm going to go make sure that the audiobook is downloaded and ready to go, and in the morning, we're gonna start this. Listen, I am ridiculously and unnecessarily excited about creamer. This is the frosted sugar cookie creamer, and I've been looking for it everywhere, and everywhere was sold out, and then we managed to find two very large bottles of creamer the other day, so I really hope that I like this. I have my coffee, and I'm so ready to try it. I love the almond milk sugar cookie latte from Starbucks. I know this is going to be very different from that, but hoping it'll get me pretty close. So I bet this is going to burn the snot out of my mouth, but let's see if I like it. Ow. I was trying to burn the snot out of my mouth. Good, but it needs another dollop. Whew. My poor lip. Wilder, I can see you walking around up there. Get down. Can you see him? Can you see him? Anyway, so this morning I tried the sugar cookie creamer and I was very excited about it, and I have two very large containers of it, and I'm so sad to report that I didn't love it. After it cooled off a little bit, it started to get like a funky aftertaste, and I think maybe I just put too much in there, and so it kind of overpowered it with sweetness. That's what I'm hoping. So I'm going to try using less tomorrow, maybe use a little stevia, or I can see if I have some vanilla syrup, because that could be good with it. If you guys have any of it, let me know what fixed that problem for you, because I have enough to last me through a while. I think the expiration date's like the end of January, so I have a lot of creamer to use. So if you notice this problem and you have a way to fix it, please tell me, because I need to use a lot of this creamer. But I am about to go take a shower. This hair may not look greasy on camera, but it is. So I'm gonna go do that. Hopefully Wilder won't fall in today. Since I'm situated, let's chat about Lights Out. I am currently 25% of the way through this so far, and it is a ride. We kick off pretty much on chapter 2 with the spicy of spice, and we don't let up, at least not so far. So we have Allie, and she is a trauma nurse. She had a lot of things going on in her past that made her want to help people and devote all of her life to this, but she pretty much just throws herself headlong into work. She doesn't have relationships, she doesn't have commitments, she has one night stands to get what she needs needs and then kind of forgets about it. And then we have Josh, who's actually the son of a famous serial killer. And so he's never wanted to leave his house because he looks just like his dad. And every time he does, people are either scared of him or any relationships that he tries to form, or they want to know all about his dad. And so he's like, nah, I don't need anybody. I don't want to deal with all of that. So he is actually a hacker, and that is his day job, but he on the side has a social media account as a masked man, and that just happens to be Allie's kink. So he decides that he is kind of obsessed with her, starts to stalk her, and wants to give her the fantasy of her wildest dreams. And it's a spicy time. Not gonna lie, at 25% we have had mostly smut, but there's definitely been some moments in there where I was like snorting laughing because Josh is a cinnamon roll, even though there's moments to him where I'm like, dude, why are you doing that? And I think he is extremely hot. He's also very, very sweet. And the juxtaposition between the two of those is really working for me, I'm not gonna lie. And then Allie is someone that I can kind of relate to, honestly, where you wanna just throw yourself headlong into work. Don't have the trauma that Allie has, obviously, but I can relate to that like feeling of wanting to kind of just throw yourself headlong and not really take time for yourself. So they work really well as a pair. The banter and some of the like jokes and sniping I've really been enjoying, but it is very, very spicy. So far, we've had probably 80% spice, 20% plot, and the plot is basically just him and her and the fantasy and how they're kind of playing that out. So there's not like this huge overarching plot at the moment. This is a silly, goofy time, but I'm having fun with this silly, goofy time. It's a little bit too smutty for me. If I had my preference, I would tone the smut back to like 60-40 instead of 80-20, but I am still having a really fun time with this. I expected to have fun with it. I kind of went into it with the mindset of don't take this too seriously, just enjoy it. And I think that's kind of the author's take as well. Don't take it too seriously, just have a good spicy time. And I think she's doing that pretty well. So I'll update you guys again when I get to around halfway. That sounds reasonable. We'll check back then. We have a rainy day, we have smut on our audiobook and crochet to do, and I will say that makes for a really good day. I feel like I'm sinking into a hole here. Is that better? I feel like that's better. I need to restuff this couch because I spend a lot of time on it and I have a butt print, but I've gotten to halfway and lights out, and so I really wanted to update you guys. We're starting at the halfway point to get a little bit more relationship between the two of them, have less of the spicy, silly, goofy moments, and starting to delve a little deeper. And I think that was one thing that I was struggling with a little bit in the first half was the sex started really, really fast. And I was like, I don't feel like they've really gotten to know each other very well. So if it goes from this to relationship, I'm gonna be a little disappointed, but the author slowed things down just a little bit. She's added in a lot of character moments and the two of them together, and I'm really, really appreciating that. It's still super spicy, don't get me wrong, but I am liking that we're seeing the two of them kind of slow down and have some of those deeper conversations. We haven't had the deepest of deep conversations yet. She doesn't know yet who he is, but I think that's coming, and I think the payoff's going to be really good when it does. What I will say is the author is doing a really good job fleshing out these characters for me. Every little thing that they do, even the reason behind both of them kind of being really sex driven or having this kink or not wanting to leave the house, like everything is extremely well thought out. I'm not finding any plot holes, and I'm shocked. She's got the voice down to a T. She's got him hiding, like everything is just so intricately thought out, and I'm really, really appreciating that. I still wish the spice were just a little bit lower, but that's just a personal preference thing. I'm finding that I skim over some of it, but also there's some good moments between the two of them during it, so I can't skip over all of it. But yeah, I'm still having a really, really fun time with this. The audiobook is really, really good. I like the two narrators that were chosen. I think that they fit the characters perfectly. He's not so gravelly that it just, I don't know, there's something about Josh being a cinnamon roll that I don't want him to have like a super female low register voice or anything. So I think the narrator is doing a fantastic job capturing that kind of boyish aspect to him. This is also a true dual narration where we have both of them speaking in both of their chapters. That's becoming much more common. I don't dislike it. It's not my absolute favorite. I prefer the traditional dual narration, but I'm getting more used to it the more I'm listening to it. It's becoming kind of the norm in audiobooks. So if you like that, it has that. The only complaint I have about the audiobook is sometimes in his chapters where he's like lowering his register so that she can't tell what his voice sounds like, or using a voice modulator or whatnot, it gets almost too low and I can't hear it at the volume that I can hear her. And sometimes I can't understand what he's saying at all, but if I turn it up too much, it'll blow out my eardrums when she talks, because they're both talking at the same time. It's not like I can just lower it when she's talking and up it when he's talking kind of thing. So I don't love that part, but that's a very small nitpicky complaint, I feel like. Overall, I'm having fun. I'm just enjoying the silly goofy times. Okay, I'm on chapter 15. And did he just ask her to do what I think he just did? Did he say what I think he just did? If you know, you know. I think it's in the triggers, but like I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to spoil anybody. But there were knives involved, and oh my god. So Lights Out is a wrap, and I had a lot of fun with this one. In the very beginning, I was a little unsure because of how smutty it was. I was like, is this entire book just going to be them constantly like being horny the entire book? And honestly, it is, but it works out in such a fun way. This book does not take itself too seriously. You're not supposed to take it too seriously. Just sit back, have a fun ride, and I did. It was a lot of fun. I definitely preferred kind of the middle section, actually, where they started to open up to each other a little bit more, but still had some really good banter, and you could tell that they were learning about each other. It wasn't just about the sex, but they weren't together yet. And then some things happened that tried to pick up the plot toward the end of the book, but I agree with everyone that it felt like it fell off just a little bit, that last plot thread. Initially, very interesting, very funny, but then they got together and kind of, it was just basically felt like set up for the second book in the series. It definitely didn't feel overly necessary. And so for that, I think it's going to get a lower 4-star from me, but I still really enjoyed it. I still had a lot of fun with it, and I'm very glad that I read it. I will be picking up the second book, which follows a different set of characters when it comes out in July, I think, of next year. It was definitely a good pick, a book that I had been really anticipating and hoping to get to sooner rather than later. So thank you so much, Claire, for choosing this one for me. So that's a wrap on Booktuber Advent Day 3. I cannot believe that we are already 3 days into this with some solid reads so far. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, I will leave them on the screen for you guys to check out. If you just want to let me know that you were here and hanging out, leave me some kind of mask emoji because it feels very appropriate for Lights Out. As always, thank you guys so very much for watching. Stay tuned for the next Booktuber, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!